Behind every crime lies a story waiting to be uncovered, from chilling mysteries to untold truth. This is where the darkness comes to light.
Courtroom buzz lights up the air, faces tense as stories tear, truth and lies like a tango dance. Justice here takes no chance. Gavel strikes, hearts beat fast. Witness takes stand, shadows cast. Whispers loud like wildfire spread. In this game, none's ahead. International eyes on the scene. Lines of right blurred and lean. Arrested dreams, shattered glass. In this court, who holds the past? Lawyers dance in verbal fight. Day turns into darkest night. Every turn, heart skips a beat. Justice tango on repeat. Families once so torn apart. Courts drama quick to start. Chains rattle, futures bleak. Yet in silence, justice seeks. Around the world, eyes through gaze. Every trial a twisted maze. Judgment passed through smoky gates. In this court, no room for haste.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Hello, hi. How is everyone doing? Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Stephanie. Good morning, Ella Blue. Good morning, well, the thing is, Shmopi. Good morning. Good morning, Roa. Hi, everybody. Um, we are having, it's going to be one of those crazy days and great days that we have lots to do. I'm in the corner of your screen. Maria, good morning as well. Did I say Maria? I think I did. But I am on this side because I can click and still people saying, good morning, Amy Beth. Hi, good morning. So nice to see you, everybody here. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. It's the Wednesday. It's hump day. It's half of the week. We've made it. It is my Friday. So I am very happy for that. And today we have an exciting day ahead. I mean, we have a very busy day today. We have two hearings for Stephen Stearns. We have as well Brian Kohlberger's plea hearing. I am so sorry, Maria. Hello. Hi, my friend. Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon, Cindy. Hello. Good morning, everybody. Iowa. Good morning, everyone. Hey, it's Kimbers, Ohio, and you are green. Hello, my friend. How are you this morning? I hope everything is well with every single one of you. It is hump day. It is Wednesday. We've made it. We've done it. We are we are waiting on the hearing, the final pre-trial hearing for Stephen Stearns. This is for the SA case. Um, oh, oops, I reloaded the wrong page because I've have so many pages open right now, trying to find a feed for this hearing. So yeah. Yes, today is half through the year. Oh, is it? Oh wow, it's half through the year, so happy half year, I guess. I mean, we made it. Well, it is not halfway through the week. I lied because I mean, Friday doesn't count. Friday is it's a holiday. Friday is the 4th of July, so there's not going to be no court. There's going to be no nothing on Friday. So I lied. Today's Thursday technically because most people will be off as Friday, and I hope every single one of you are off on Friday so you guys can celebrate and have a great weekend. So yeah, today's not hump day. Today is Thursday. In my own little world, it is Thursday, right? Okay, it's fine. Um, it is. Oh, you're in Canada. Happy belated Canada Day for you. Um, well, the weather over here in the UK today, guess what? Is back to rain. It is a rainy day and it's a coldish day still in the UK today. So yeah, but happy belated Canada Day, Ella Bloom, for yourself. I think it was yesterday or Monday, one of the two. I know. I mean, Alberta, I've looked at some pictures online. It is. Rainy days is very good for people that work outside, aka garden bot, because he's having the day off. He's just all happy. He's just doing. it is doing what garden pot does on the day off when we are about to move. So, oh, 60 ouch. Oh yes, Canada would. I thought it was yesterday, but I wasn't sure and I didn't want to say the incorrect day and then get it wrong. But yes, um, so definitely, yeah, happy belated Canada Day. Today here, it's not that hot today. Hang on, let me have a look. Oh, what is the temperature in Fahrenheit? It is 61 today. So today is not the great. Well, it's perfect for me. I'm not complaining. Love this temperature. Other people, yeah. Waiting on to well, they have a partial verdict from what I've heard, Kimbers, Ohio. They but I think apparently in federal you have to have a verdict for all the charges before a verdict is read. So yeah, apparently it has to be done. Oh, it's a beautiful high. You mean it's oh that is not bad. 70 Milwaukee up to 85 feels 90. Okay, that is not too bad, Stephanie. It is not like as scorched as it has been. So I think Stephanie is on speech to text. I don't think she meant to buy, but it's okay. Now the highest will okay, it feels great right now, 69. But what time is it, Marie? It's like what, 4 o'clock in the morning? I don't know. I'm doing it's currently 5 minutes to 2 p.m. in the UK right now, where I am, in the parts of the world that I am. But 100 degrees, ouch. That is 6 a.m. Sorry, I was off for 2 hours. My math skills are not the greatest. So oh, 37. Oh, bro, I am my days. I'm so sorry. That is what. Please keep hydrated. Keep in a. I'm so sorry. That is. I would hate that temperature. I don't like the heat. Yeah, my math is not mathing because I just before I went live, me and my husband, we are in the process of buying a house, and we just got six legal documents from our lawyers. Um, and to that we have to sign, read, fill and send them back, and it is just yeah. I was trying to read it. I'm tired. I was at work from 5 a.m. my time to quarter past 11, which was about 2 hours ago. And yeah, so my brain is still a little bit sleepy. um Oh, okay, fair enough. Enjoy it, but still be careful. Because don't want anything to happen. Um, couldn't anyone talk to you? Well, but oh, I don't know. Um, oh, what am Oh, sorry. Hang on 1 second. I am sitting on something that it was not comfortable at all. Um, so. Oh, I know. Like Kimbus, trying to. I did like some of his songs. Is it bad that I still hear it? I mean, I still hear his songs. I like it, the old songs. I mean, I'm a person that is very hard to break habits. Oh, hi, hello, Memphis. Hello, good morning, good afternoon. Um, whatever it is like today. I've been in bed. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I hope you get better soon, my friend. A lots of love to you, and I hope you do get better soon. Cause migraines, I hear them. They are not nice. They are not good at all, and they are horrible. Oh, I'm so sorry. I absolutely am sorry. I have a few friends that they suffer from migraines, and I know how impact them. So I can only imagine that. Good morning, Paula. Hey, happy Wednesday. Happy, well, hump day. I'm calling still hump day, but it is when Wednesday is technically hump day, but it's probably not gonna be like because Friday probably nobody's gonna be working. So we are waiting on the Stephen Stern's yeah, I know. They are horrible. I mean, it's Muffins that has the migraines, not Stephanie, but I Muffins will know. Uh, so um, so yeah, so we are waiting on a hearing for Steven Stearns. This is for the essay case, so of the Madeline Soto case. So just a reminder, he's charged with 60. charges. So charge 1 through 8 is the SA. The 9 through 13 is the aggravated battery, and then the 14 to 20 is the, oh my days, the lewd SA, and then from 21 to 60 is the possession of stuff that he shouldn't have had. So, good morning, Theo. Hello, my friend. I thought you were gonna nap. Hello, hi, I am here. I'm wearing pink for some reason today, even though it's not my color. But good morning, welcome in, everybody. Um, so yeah, if you guys have a fade for Steven Stearns, please send it my way because I have one, two, three, four, 5 tabs open, and so far none of them are scheduled with that. So I'm having my fingers crossed that one of them will, and that someone will go live with his hearing. Otherwise, you're gonna have to listen to me for a little bit. No, I'm joking. I'm not gonna put you guys through that. That would be very, very, very badly me putting that through, you know. You know what I mean. But yeah, so good morning, Zio. I hope you're okay. You should be having a nap, girl. You need to have a rest because it's a busy, busy day. So I'm hoping that soon enough something will come up. I do need to open yet another tab just to make sure that, it cannot have one of my um one of the tabs. So we are just waiting to see what is happening and where can we get this thingy from, and see what's happening. So, but what you guys think so far of, like, we can talk about the other guy, um what's his name, Diddy. Do you think that his verdict is gonna, so no, sorry, I was just reading something. The thing is, there might be a possibility that there's not a hearing. Sorry. um a hearing, a stream for this hearing, which is sad, but we can definitely watch a lot of stuff about him. But good morning, Norma. Sorry, I was just doing something. Good morning, Norma. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome, I'm sure. Yeah. Oh, yes, I know. I hopefully someone will be streaming. I get you. Yeah. Oh, but that's the not guilty on racketeering. That's the more serious charge, isn't it? So, sorry, 1 second. Um, yeah. So the thing is, it might not have a stream, but yeah, that would be the live one, because the other ones you can get, like, what, time served, or because he's been in, like, jail for like a year, so that it's a long time to it. So if they don't have one, if they don't have, I think we can actually, um I need to send this link. Hang on, I need to open this. All right, there is a video that I need to catch it, to see. I know. Hopefully, hopefully you will. I don't know. I obviously we did not see the trial. There was no trials, so sadly we could see, because federal trials are not live stream. Um, so it's just, we're just gonna see. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, sorry, it's just the updates from this, because I've got amazing friends. They are trying to see if there is, like, a feed of what's happening, so we are just keeping in check and seeing. But meanwhile, there was a news station that did a piece of about 40 minutes ago that we can watch while we are waiting for something to kick off, and then we have other stuff that we can talk about it as well. So let's just I'm gonna share a video from a local news station just to oh my days, so many tabs. Which one is this actually? That no, that's not the one. That's not the one either. Oh my days. I have so many tabs open that I don't even know which one I'm sharing. Oh, that one. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Oh my days. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much, Stephanie. Thank you, my friend. And yeah, you can see me. I can do it. But thank you very much for that. Definitely need some coffee in me because you guys know that I live on coffee. It's my. So this is just a video from the a piece of the news station that we're gonna watch for a little bit, and then we can talk about it while we're waiting for any information on this hearing. Okay. Good morning, Emily. Hello. I hope you're doing better today, my friend. I hope that it's a better day for you and your recovery goes very well and goes smoother and faster as well. So let's just listen to this one for now. So while I
There is a pretrial hearing in the Stephen Stearns case. He is accused of killing and sexually abusing 13-year-old Maddie Soto.
His first case focuses only on the sexual assault allegations. Let's bring in Fox 35's Amanda McKenzie, who joins us live this morning with an update on this case. And Amanda, good morning to you. We do know this trial has already been delayed several times already.
That's right. So the trial was last supposed to start in May, but the judge pushed it back to July because attorneys on both sides of the case said they would not be ready for trial in time. Now, at the last hearing, the prosecutors and defense went back and forth over what they believed what evidence should be included and excluded at trial. Now, both state prosecutors and the defense team for Stephen Stearns agree that information from his cell phone was gathered without a search warrant. But the state argues detectives were right to take his phone and go through it because they were concerned Stearns was allegedly trying to get rid of evidence. The defense said Stearns only gave consent to look at certain apps and even called on Stearns to testify.
Defendant attempted to destroy evidence already by factory resetting his phone.
What was your understanding, if any, as to what they were going to do with it?
They were just going to check my Google Maps and check to see if I was logged into Google, and that was it. That was all I agreed to.
Were you shown, or did they have a warrant?
They did not.
He stood there and never said no. It's not the onus. The onus is not on Mr. Stearns to say no. The onus is on law enforcement to ask if they can continue.
His defense team is still hoping the judge will consider tossing the evidence from the sex crimes trial. We are still awaiting a decision from the judge. Stearns was the live-in boyfriend of Madeline Soto's mother. Investigators say based on photo and video evidence recovered from his cell phone, which he voluntarily handed over, that his alleged sexual abuse of Maddie Soto had been going on for years. Maddie went missing on February 26th of last year, just days after her 13th birthday. Investigators found the teen's body 4 days later in a wooded area in St. Cloud. Stearns is facing 60 charges for sexual battery, molestation, and possession of child pornography. His sex abuse trial is set to begin in July with a pretrial hearing today at 1:30. We'll be sure to let you know what happens. As for his murder trial, that is slated to begin in September. Reporting live from the Osceola County Courthouse, Amanda McKenzie, Fox 35 News.
Right, so that was.
This is a major update. I have to read it for you one last time. There is an update. Judge.
This is just something.
Happening today, there is a pretrial.
So it's interesting. I don't know if they are going to be live streaming. I wish. Oh, hang on. Oh, hang on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. 1 second. I need to do something. 1 second. Oh, come on. Oh, I think it's the same. In 1 second. Yeah, sorry. I was just checking something. I needed to get a closer to the screen, and I couldn't say. Yes, there is 2 hearings, Cindy. Only if they only doing at the 1 p.m. and they doing everything. They're on I'll show you. So on the court records, right here, I'll see if I can put more zoom on this. So here on the calendar it says that today, like this one is today at 9 a.m. pre-trial, and then at 1:30 there's an add-on. So I don't know if they are just going to merge both of them and just do like all in one at 1:30, and they only decided that at last minute, or it's just that. So that's why I'm thinking that they probably are doing that. Of everything at 1:30, that could be a possibility. But we are trying to still scouring. But meanwhile, I mean, we can always, I was trying, we can always find more stuff about Stearns. We won't have no shortage of material, sadly, about this guy to find it, because our friend, a very good friend Zio, she and allegedly speculated as well. I've been covering this case a lot, so could do since documents. You want some documents, don't you, Stephanie? Um, yeah. So no one can really find anything. So we can do, instead of that, while we wait on more information on this hearing, because maybe a TV station is going to give that. Well, yeah, it could be, or they could just do everything in one. I think that's where, yeah, he said 1 p.m. So probably that hearing from this morning got postponed to this afternoon, which is um a possibility. But meanwhile, because I do want to do some trial prep for this trial, obviously, because the trial is just around the corner, it's just a couple weeks away, and then we can start maybe because Zio, as like I said, our friend Zio that is in chat, if you haven't subbed to a go, please and do it, thank you very much, because she has covered this trial quite in the big extent, so we can maybe listen to some phone calls, I was thinking, because this guy has interesting phone calls I've heard and I haven't heard. So I was thinking that we probably could get that. So less than a month till Anderson. Oh yes, yeah, I was gonna say who's, yes, Maxwell Anderson. Yes, that's in August. Um oh, it's heavy language. Oh man, why does Stearns have to be this there has to be, oh, just a very big warning. It's very, very hard language. We probably will get them monetized, but that's fine. I mean, oh well. I'll turn the monetization off anyway, and then just. Oh, not Stearns. Oh, not Stearns. Since oh, okay. What? Why heavy language? Like, I don't understand. I do not speak English. I do not speak English, but oh, Zio. Oh, okay. We can skip her parts. James. I know that name. Who is that? Who's him? I've heard of him. Who's James Craig? I've heard of him. Why does that name look familiar? You were animated. Yes, I can see that you were animated, Zia. Who is James Craig? I'm like confused now, and my attention. Who is James Craig? That name is. Oh, the dentist guy. Yes, yes, yes. That the dentist guy, James Craig, that poisoned the wife with the protein shake. Yes. Oh, yes. It is that today. Oh, I missed it. Who's got tornado tomatoes ready to throw? Yes, we probably need some definitely thrown. So we I think, yeah, I'm just doing one last refresh of all the possibility of feeds that I had, just to see what's, if anything has happened. No, anything is not happening, but yeah. Oh, the 14th of this month. Okay, right. Okay. we'll definitely have a look at that. Remind me again, because remind me before then so I can have a look at that. So, but anyway, let's hear the phone calls. I don't know where do they start the phone calls, but we by just be aware that there's a long language on this one. Yes, only a Rotten Tomato, Cindy. So it is not going to be a long. We're probably not going to be keeping this trial long, but we are going to try to. Uh, yeah, not going to be long. So we're going to do a little bit. So where do they? Let me have a look. So if you haven't, just yeah, subscribe to Allegedly Speculating. If someone can drop the links and Zio as well. I'll be back. Yes, all right. I will text you, Zio. No worries. I will try to call you even if anything happens, if it is. But if not, we'll start with the phone call. So this is taken from the stream of Allegedly Speculating and Zio. So I've got the permission to use, but still give them a follow and everything. But I think they start here. They might pause, so we might pause then as well and talk because of the language, because of our lovely Zio, but we go from there. Absolutely. So oh, hang on, sorry, I have something in the back chat I need to check. Oh yeah, okay, all that perfect, thank you. That probably will be better because this isn't has any. Thank you very much, Zio, for that, for dropping those links. And thank you, Robert, too. So let's.
We'll go back and read those. Pulled this up for son. It's a sign. I don't even know he is.
Just skipping this part until.
Rosie, I am feeling better today. I have done a bit of two reasons. One and my channel at the same time. And so a lot of times we share subs back.
Sorry. Just trying to find where they start. There you go.
I've heard a couple of y'all say that Stearns never once mentions leashing the dog.
Okay, 1 second. Let me have a look to see if there is one. Okay. There is another one. Hang on, because it probably doesn't have as much interruptions, but we can use theirs as well. So it's from phone calls from prison. You guys probably know him as well. Anyway, he has the hearings and he doesn't have the interruptions. I love Zio and Speculating. I love them. I love them from the bottom of my heart. So we're gonna do that, and then we can talk a little bit about in the middle. But be just engage in the chat, and if there's any news or any movements in court, we'll be moving.
Hello, you have a call at no expense to you from
Stephen Stearns,
inmate at
Osceola County Corrections Department.
To accept this call, press or say 5. To refuse this call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
Stephen. Hey. I've been trying to call. They've had us on lockdown so often. Every time I've asked them, we've been on a Code 5 lockdown.
Okay.
Which means I've been unable to call. I've been trying to call all weekend, too.
So you've been on lockdown all this time?
Off and on, yes. On the days that I've asked, we've happened to be on lockdown, which means either an incident has happened or they're just so understaffed that they have to lock everyone down. It's probably more to do with the staffing.
Okay. How you been?
Well, had the world's biggest birthday present, so.
Yeah. And then you didn't call, so I'm assuming because of changes that they prevented you from calling?
No, they were actually moving me around a lot, shuffling back and forth, so I was having to get my phone privileges jockeyed back and forth, which takes a little while. And then, like I said, the days that I was asking, we happened to be on lockdown on those days. So it's just been inconvenient.
Okay.
Very inconvenient timing, and then we were on lockdown all weekend. I wanted to call on Mom's birthday. I tried to call yesterday. I tried to call Saturday, and there's no go anytime. So, but I've been wanting to call. How have you been?
I try to put this on speaker.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put this on speaker. Okay.
How have you been? Can you hear me?
Good. Can you hear us?
Yes. Is Mom there with you?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
What's that?
Stephanie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Is Mom with you?
Hang on a second.
Okay. So Zio just told us that the pre-trial hearing has been moved to 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay, that is not the problem. That is absolutely fine because so 1:30 p.m. Eastern to my time is rumbling. Come on, I just need. So 1 p.m. Eastern. Oh no, I need 1 p.m. 1 p.m. It's gonna be 6 p.m. for me, which is gonna be great because it's at the same time. Yeah, I can't hear you. Sorry. um. So, which is great because it's at the same time as Brian Koberger hearing. Wait, I know. So yeah, they're gonna be crossing over. So what we're gonna do is priority obviously is gonna be we're doing Brian Koberger this afternoon, and then after Brian, we are gonna be doing the Steven Stearns. So, but all of that is going to be with our lovely Robert Ramada. Robert is going to do the stream this afternoon because it's Wednesday. Because all of the things happen on Wednesday when I have date night with my husband, and can't really change that because otherwise I'll be sleeping on a sofa, and I would like not to sleep on a sofa. Thank you very much. The sofa is very uncomfortable to sleep on. Why is everything has to be on date night? I know. Why is everything has to be on date night? Garden bot. We need to change date night to another day of the week. Honestly, it's not working for me. Date night on Wednesdays is not working for me. It is not. It is not working for me on Wednesdays. And I don't like it. But I know. I'm so sorry, everybody. I feel I feel bad as well. I feel like I clickbaited everyone, and I am so sorry about that. I really thought that the hearing was at 9 a.m. and I was like, okay, we have time for everything. Yeah, no, we don't. So I know. Thank you for. I really appreciate it, Cindy. And yes, it is priority, but court. Why is life has to be, just you know, just like this? I don't like it. Um. So, my days. Good morning. Hello. Good morning, Denise. Happy Wednesday. Good morning, my friend. We are trying to decide. Well, I have a lot of stuff we can watch. We can either carry on watching the phone calls, but I wanted to use them for later, or there is a few videos and a few things that we could hear, listen, and watch together. One of them, I don't know where I put them because I've got, two accounts for YouTube, and I've put everything to watch later on the wrong account, and I just hang on 1 second because I just signed out of everything, which is amazing because I pressed the wrong button. Why do I have to press the wrong button? Always. Every single time I have to press the wrong button. And my phone is buzzing more than the other day. So hang on 1 second. I need to sign back into everything. Give me just a moment. Good thing I know my passwords. Yes, it's really me, Google. Who else would try to get into my account? Like it's just me. Thank you very much. It's nobody else. Okay, hang on. This should be working now. There we go. It's Zia's fault. Yes, it's definitely she's putting. I know. I need coffee to stop pushing buttons because otherwise I'm gonna push a lot of buttons. Um. Oh, that got pushed down. Oh, 1 second. I need to sneeze. Sorry about that. It's well, I'm sorry. Run into guys home to get some coffee. Thank you. I think Garden Bot should get me some coffee. I do have a Lucozade. It's kind of a hydration sports drink, which is good. But yeah, I think I need a nap after all. So ooh, my days. There is so many cases that I want to cover, and there's videos that I want to watch. That oh, okay, right. There is a video from Courtroom Cam TV official. It's one of the sites that I'm obsessed. That it is that the defendant got dragged screaming from court after an unexpected sentencing. So it could be a funny video and a good video for have a good laughs, and then we can just do some to have a bit of a lighthearted stream because I think tonight is going to be a very very heavy stream. Is because we have Brian Kohlberger, and then we have Steven Stearns. Tonight is going to be heavy, so we might have a good funny thing videos to watch it here and there. But yeah, we'll watch this one first. Oh, Cindy, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. And definitely Coffee Fund. Absolutely. Thank you so much, my friend. I so appreciated that. Thank you. Oh, we've watched that, Robert. Oh, I haven't because I was like keeping it to watch it with you guys. But thank you very much, Cindy. I so appreciate all your guys' support. You guys are absolutely amazing. I appreciate it. And I'll stop talking and
Your Honor, we are present in the state of Ohio versus Dennis Welp in case number 25 CR 206. The defendant is in court represented by counsel. We were last here on May 14th where the defendant pled guilty to count 5 and count 6, both being sexual battery felonies of the 3rd degree.
So the defendant is here at the bottom, well, right behind me, like where my head is there. So is there. So that's where the defendant. Another streamer calls this the Minecraft court because of the blurry on this side, which is amazing. I like
that. At that time, the court referred the defendant for a pre-sentence report and victim impact statement. Those reports have been completed, and the state is prepared to proceed with sentencing.
Mr. Watson. Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. I'm going to be brief. This was a heinous crime, Judge. This was horrible in a lot of ways, but most importantly, because this was a minor child who almost assuredly didn't fully understand what was going on with somebody whom was entrusted to love her and to protect her. However, Your Honor, this is not indicative of who Mr. Welp is as a person. Yes, he has a record. Yes, he has been to prison, but it's mainly in the past been for drug offenses, I believe some theft offenses, nothing of this magnitude. On this day, and this is not an excuse, Judge, for his behavior, but on this day, Mr. Welp was drinking a lot, was highly intoxicated, and took advantage of his stepdaughter. Since the day I met him, he is in disbelief that he did this. He has expressed to me his remorse and his sadness and how he hurt her, how he hurt his wife, how he hurt the rest of his family. He knows, Your Honor, that he's going to be spending a lot of time in jail coming up. I know there's discretion with the plea with how much time that equates to. This court has a lot of discretion with that. Earlier in chambers, the state and I presented to the court a joint recommendation for 8 years. I'm going to respectfully ask the court to consider imposing that sentence because I believe Mr. Welk is remorseful. I believe that this is not who he is as a person, and I'm hoping when his time is up and he gets out, which by the way, he's going to be reporting as a sex offender for the rest of his life, so he's going to be under a microscope. He's going to be monitored for the rest of his life. But I'm hoping that he'll be able to piece things together, make amends with at least part of his family. I don't know if he can ever make full amends with everybody or not. And you're going to hear from him in just a minute, Your Honor. But again, I don't think this is who he is as a person. And I'm going to respectfully ask the court to consider adopting the joint recommendation. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. You are required to register in person with the sheriff of the county in which you establish a residency within 3 days of coming into that county, or if temporarily domiciled for more than 3 days. You are also required to register in person with the sheriff of the county in which you establish a place of education immediately upon coming into that county. If you establish a place of education in another state but maintain a residence or temporary domicile here, you are also required to register in person with the sheriff or other appropriate official in that other state immediately upon coming into that state. Failure to register, failure to verify residence at the specified times, or failure to provide notice of change in residence address or other required information as described above will result in a criminal prosecution. Mr. Watson, if you would present this to Mr. Welk for his acknowledgement and signature. All right, Mr. Welk, what do you want to tell me before I impose sentence?
First and foremost, I'd like to apologize to the courts for appearing before them today. I'd like to apologize to the victim in this case. I'm not going to use alcohol or drugs as an excuse for anything. However, alcohol was a main factor in this case. But I take full responsibility for my actions because I chose to make the irresponsible decision, consuming too much alcohol than I could handle, causing poor, regretful choices leading to my incarceration. I've read the police reports and feel ashamed, embarrassed, and hurt because that's not the person I am. And I wouldn't be standing here today if I would have just been more responsible. I have 4 younger children that I've let down because of being locked away from them, missing out on watching them grow. Having to deal with that is a heartache alone. The only thing I can do now is work on myself while incarcerated, take advantage of all programs they offer, and become a better man and a better father, and not give up doing so. I have to make this my last time in jail, and I plan to. I'm sincerely remorseful to my victim in this case, letting her down when I was supposed to be a father figure in her life. I beat myself up over this every day. Over this, wishing I could take it all back. I just hope she can grow up in life and leave this in the past, and that it doesn't affect her future. Again, I'm sorry to everyone I caused pain to in this case.
Ms. Alessi?
Thank you, Your Honor. One thing that the defendant said today in court, and even in his pre-sentence report, that stood out to me is that he was supposed to be a loving and caring father. And I couldn't agree more with that. He should have been someone that the victim could trust and rely on for protection and guidance. And instead, he used his role as a parental figure to manipulate her, exploit her, and violate her. And while there is a jointly recommended sentence here, the state believes it's essential to highlight not only what the defendant did pre-indictment, but also what he did after his arrest in this case. While incarcerated, he continued to communicate with the victim while in the Lake County Jail. He attempted to guilt and manipulate her by blaming her for her own suicide attempt at the East Lake Jail. He pressured her to express her feelings to law enforcement about him or her desire for him to only receive a short sentence. He spoke of wanting to attend counseling together. He emphasized they were a team and told her he loved her, despite being her abuser, despite doing what he did here. And during several of these recorded calls, you can hear the victim crying, further illustrating just the ongoing emotional harm caused by the defendant and his conduct. This behavior demonstrates his continued disregard for the well-being of the victim, his family, and his ongoing efforts to control her and manipulate her. The defendant today in court said he's remorseful, but in the pre-sentence report, he didn't believe he did anything wrong, and he wants to take this to trial. So I'm not sure what this court can believe. He has a lengthy criminal history, including 4 prior prison numbers and 5 felony cases. And all of this, I think, supports the need for a significant term of incarceration, and respectfully ask this court to impose a jointly agreed sentence of 8 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Why did you call her after you were in jail?
Because I was told by the detective I was allowed to.
Okay.
I didn't call her. I called my wife and she answered the phone.
All right. And what contact did you have with her about retracting her statement or modifying her statement?
It wasn't retracting. We talked about counseling, going to counseling and stuff, because that was something that they was talking about making them do, and something she said she didn't want to do.
Well, trying to, whether directly contacting her or contacting her through your wife, was wholly inappropriate. And it was further evidence of you trying to take advantage of her at that young age, like you did when this happened.
Now she had asked the detective if she could have contact with me when this case was all started. Then when I went to my preliminary hearing on February 11th, I asked the detective and he told me the same thing.
All right. Well, you're experienced enough in the system to have the wisdom that you shouldn't have been contacting her. Okay. In talking to her, having about anything having to do with this case. So you've in your statement, you say you apologized to her, but then in the pre-sentence report, you talk about how you don't believe you did everything you're accused of doing and wanted to take this to trial. What's that all about?
I don't remember exactly what I said, Your Honor, but what I was saying was I don't have recollection of what happened the night of. So I wasn't admitting to, I don't know what happened.
So did you or didn't you do this stuff?
Yes.
Okay. And I got to tell you, it doesn't get much worse than this kind of stuff.
I understand.
And I would note in the record that in 2009 or 2010, you were sentenced to prison on a burglary, released on judicial release, and then returned to prison after a violation of the judicial release. And you were released January 7th of 13. You went back to prison on another case on May 1st of 13 and got out in August. Went to prison on an attempted burglary, trespass in a habitation, breaking and entering June 23 of 16 through August 5 of 18. A whole bunch of theft offenses between that last prison sentence and where you are today. So you've had a lifetime of criminal activity, but none worse than what has occurred here. So I've reviewed the pre-sentence report and a victim impact statement. I've considered what you have said, what counsel has said. And I've also considered that they've made a joint recommendation of 96 months in prison. And so on count, and I considered all the provisions in 29, 29, 11, 29, 29, 12, 13, and 14. In consideration of all that, on count 5, I'm going to sentence you to a term of 60 months. On count 6, I'm going to sentence you to a term of 60 months. They will be consecutive to one another with credit for 143 days. Consecutive sentences are necessary to protect the public from future crime by you and for appropriate punishment.
I'm ready to get out, man. Come on, man. What the fuck you mean, man?
Stay down.
No, man. Get me the fuck out of here, man. No, fuck took my plea back, man. Get me the fuck out of here, man. Get me out of here. Get me out of here, man. Get me out of here, man. Get me the fuck out of here. No, man. Get me out of here. Get me out of here, man. What the fuck you mean, nigga? Get me the fuck out of here. Man, get me the fuck out of here, man. Let me get my leg. Get me out of here, man.
Just take him in the chair.
Okay, we're in the chair.
All right.
I'm pushing the more.
Put me on your visiting list for jail and for.
All right, man. Stop touching me, man. I'm not doing this, man. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing shit.
All right, consecutive sentences are necessary to protect the public from future crime.
Oh my God. Wait, hang on. Let me watch that because my internet is having an issue. I don't know why. I mean, when I had 500 tabs open, it was fine. So calls, criminal history. Okay, I think he's here. Like, literally see that again. I want to see that again. I was a little bit
in the record that
distracted. Sorry.
In 2009 or 2010, you were sentenced to prison on a burglary, released on judicial release, and then returned to prison after a violation of the judicial release. And you were released January 7th of 13. You went back to prison on another case on May 1st of 13 and got out in August. Went to prison on an attempted burglary, trespass and a habitation, breaking and entering.
Yeah, I think I
June 23 of 16 to August 5 of 18. A whole bunch of theft offenses between that last prison sentence and where you are today. So you've had a lifetime of criminal activity, but none worse.
Okay, this is what. Okay, it's not my internet.
What has occurred here. So I've reviewed the pre-sentence report and a victim impact statement. I've considered what you have said, what counsel has said. And I've also considered that they've made a joint recommendation of 96 months in prison. And so on count, and I've considered all the provisions in 29, 29, 11, 29, 29, 12, 13, and 14. In consideration of all that, on count 5, I'm going to sentence you to a term of 60 months. On count 6, I'm going to sentence you to a term of 60 months. They will be consecutive to one another with credit for 143 days. Consecutive sentences are necessary to protect the public from future crime by you and for appropriate punishment.
I'm ready to get out, man. Come on, man. What the fuck you mean, man?
Stay down.
No, man. Get me the fuck out of here, man. No, fuck took my plea back, man. Get me the fuck out of here, man. Get me out of here. Get me out of here, man. Get me out of here, man. Get me the fuck out of here. No, man. Get me out of here. Get me out of here, man. What the fuck you mean, nigga? Get me the fuck out of here. Man, get me the fuck out of here, man. Let me get my leg. Get me out of here, man.
Just take him in the chair.
Okay, we're in the chair.
All right.
I'm pushing the more.
Put me on your visiting list for jail.
Wow. Sorry.
All right, man. Stop touching me, man. I'm not doing shit, man. I'm not doing shit. I'm not doing shit.
Oh wow! I was really uninterested in the judge is gonna carry on with it, but wow, it just threw a massive fit. It's like, I mean, it never hurt nobody, but it's, oh my days, that is just crazy. It's wild. But I don't know if she's ready, but um that I today I was not planning to be live for a very long time, this first one, and then Robert doing the rest. So I did not prepare, and I was really counting on the hearing to be on. So probably what we're gonna do is, if um Robert is ready to take over, she can. Um because the hearing is got postponed to 1:30 in the afternoon for Steven Stearns. So she has plans of playing some stuff from Steven Stearns about Steven Stearns. So we would still stay on the theme of the thing. Probably just gonna change the title. I know, Stephanie, right? Like a person, I was actually prepared. I was ready. I know something about this case because I did a live with allegedly speculating about this, and it was absolutely an awesome stream. And she gave us a crash course for this trial, and then they just changed the times. Like, I know, playing games. I know, Paula. This is absolutely ridiculous, and I am gonna throw a tantrum now. Can I? I'm joking. I am not gonna throw a tantrum, but I mean, there is a lot that we still have to cover on that one to uh to catch up, to be ready, but we have time. Sheila's already in the background getting ready to take me out of here and just kicking me out, push me out of the door. Okay, no worries, Maria, thank you very much. I hope you have a great day. Thank you very much. I will see you very soon. Take care. Have a great day, my friend, in summer school. I've always heard that summer school is always fun. No, it's not. Joking. I'm joking. Well, not for kids. But yeah, have a great day, my friend. Absolutely. Thank you very much for everything. So yeah.
Focus camera. Hello. Hi.
Oh, hello. Where are you? I don't see you on the screen. Are you behind me again?
I'm probably behind you because I popped you up top when that was going off, because I knew that was going to be in that bottom corner. So I was like, oh, let me move her real quick so everybody can see them.
Oh
Grab
no,
them.
there you are.
Ooh.
I was in the slot where you were not there. Hang on. I was in a part that you were not there, so I'm just rearranging right now. Sorry. It might have been a little bit. Yeah. There you are. We are fixed.
All right.
Thank you very much for jumping on, because I did not plan to be live, because I thought that like this hearing was going to be quick, and then we are going to be done for until later, but they had to put a pull on one on me.
I have a question for you before you take off.
Yes,
I know
ask away.
We had talked about the Koberger hearing. It said, I don't know whatever time it said, but over here on Law and Crime it says live in 75 minutes. Oh, I got two pair of glasses on.
Yeah, they're gonna do some like pre stuff before. I mean,
Okay.
you can cover it if you want, but I have two streams set up. One for
So we have a separate one set up for Koberger, so we'll end
Yeah.
this one and go into that one. Okay.
Exactly. So Rob, Maria's saying, "Bye, Rob. I'm gonna miss you streaming, but I gotta go enjoy and have fun with everyone."
I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't even looking at that chat. Bye, Maria. Sorry, love.
It's okay. It's all right. You settled, and when you're ready, let me know. But yeah, if you want to cover that with the Brian Koberger, you can go to the new stream and just cover it there. And Stearns, you can cover on the same stream, and then I'll sort it out the stuff tomorrow morning. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
And
sounds good.
then
I figured what we do right now is if you're okay with it, and I'm sure Grizzly True Crime doesn't mind, and we will give her credit. And but it was through her stream that I did find, and it's just the Stephen Stearns stuff. and we can review it and just kind of just listen through the little body cam videos of Stephen Stearns, and there's a few audio recordings.
Yeah,
and,
I mean,
and just kind of go with that. Just kind of prep a little bit, see what's going on with Stephen Stearns. I've never done any streams on him. I've always listened to allegedly speculating. So, I mean, I've learned everything from her.
From her,
So,
yeah.
Just be kind of a hangout session. And if anybody has any comments in chat, that's kind of what we'll do. So,
yeah, you do you. It sounds like a great plan. I'll try to pop in here or there, and yeah, just to check up on you to make sure that you're behaving, and everybody else in chat as well.
as long as we don't have Nightbot going crazy and
he's been more tamed, I think.
We made him calm down a little bit.
Yeah, we made that guy calm down. But I will see you guys. Well, tomorrow I'll see you in chat. I'll be popping in and out of chat, and let's Robert take the wheel. You take the wheel, girl.
Okay.
Keep me out. Do whatever you want me to do.
Bye. We're gonna pop her down, pop me back up. That way I can be where I like to be, down the little corner, which is odd because on my stream I'm in the other corner. So when I'm sitting here talking and looking, I look that way. So it looks like I'm looking away and the stream's behind me. Anyways, it's all in myself. Anyways, okay, so let me find that tab. All right, so this is just this is from, I'm going to drop it in the chat just so it's there. It's Grizzly True Crime, and this is from her page. This is the police audio and video interviews. This is the first. The video is I don't want to blow anybody's eardrums out. Let me see what my settings on, because I know I can get pretty loud myself. Excuse me. Okay, so we're like,
was it here?
Along this stretch, I can't remember the exact spot, but it was around where these communities were. So thank you. So it's like around where these communities were.
Okay.
And it's just like in this stretch, like we could see the overpass down there.
Where's the school?
Just on the other side of the overpass.
2105. So somewhere around here.
So yeah, somewhere, maybe not this one, but the next one possibly is right in this stretch. When we just came down and we drove about halfway down, and she was like, "That's good right here."
Okay.
On the second floor.
All right, the first question is if I can get your first and last name and spell them both out for me.
Stephen Stearns, STEPHAN STERNS.
All right, so Stephen.
okay, so I do remember this. This was from this video. So that first video is when he was trying to tell them where he dropped Maddie off. And of course, it was in the middle of the night because of all that. Hey, Shanna, how are you? Thank you for stopping by, hon. I gotta move me because I look really silly. I need to put me over down in the other little corner. There we go. I don't know. Oh, that put me in a circle. I need to change my glasses. Okay, so the second one that we're watching is this is from the interview. I don't know how much of this is here. I'm sure. Like I said, this is just about him, and has nothing to do with Jennifer Soto or any of that's going on. That's just a whole nother ball game, in my opinion. This is solely going to be on Stephen Stearns. So these videos are just on him.
You seem very emotional right now. Explain to us.
I dropped her off. Everything looked fine when I drove away. It's the last time we saw her.
Looked fine when I dropped her off and drove away. Okay.
The conversation that y'all had in the car when you dropped her off.
Not much. She was asleep for most of the way. Told her have a good day at school when she got out. I love her. Said thanks, love you too. That was it.
And so, where do you think she could possibly be? I mean, this isn't, as I was told, this isn't normal behavior.
This is not normal behavior. She's not the type that would just run off. We don't know where she can be, and we're scared.
Now looking back at this, I so see the fakeness in him. I didn't like. I don't think I paid that close of attention before. So, just because it was all new and I never really paid attention, but that you can see that he's not. He is so detached.
We just want her home.
Are you, in a sense, blaming yourself?
It's hard not to.
Why?
I dropped her off early. I could have waited longer. She looked okay. She was walking towards the school when I saw her. It was like any other day, so I went on with my day. It's hard not to blame myself.
What has the conversation been with Jen since?
She's been a lot stronger than me. She's been holding it together really well, and but it just keeps coming in waves. This reality keeps hitting.
Well, thank you, Jason Rules. I appreciate that, and Katya does too. I am so sure. She'd be crying if she was here. You know how she is. She'd be crying. So, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Thank you for the support. I don't know how to do things on that end because I'm not monetized on my stream, so that just kind of threw me off. So, sorry about that. But thank you so much.
We don't know where she is. We don't know if she's safe. We're just scared. We just want her home.
Have you, like, literally put boots on the ground, went out?
Yeah, I even went out with the cops where I had dropped her off. And we looked all up and down the road, all on communities, and there was nothing helpful. None of the cameras were pointing the street. Nothing, which in 20.
Sorry, I gotta unmute. Yeah, okay, I got choked for a minute on my coffee. But yeah, this should have been a red. Y'all see me choking. It was with the coffee. I'm okay, you know. It's early for me. Anyways, here he is. I mean, this red flag number one right here. Number one, probably number 500. But he started talking about the cameras and stuff. Why was he already knowledgeable about the cameras during this little interview?
2024 was surprising. The church across the street had some cameras, and they mentioned seeing her waiting around in the parking lot for a while before moving on, and that was it. But it was grainy footage, and not much else.
Does it seem like she walked west, east?
They said in the direction of the school. I'm not sure what that is.
What was the language? Not language verbally, body language. When you dropped her off, did she seem happy? Was she like, I'm going to meet my friends?
Happy. She had a happy weekend. She just turned 13. She had her 13th birthday party. She was happy that we were all together here, and she's just very happy. She was a happy kid. She's very sweet. She's a very sweet girl. She brings a lot of joy to us, and we just not knowing.
So the unknown is killing you.
Yeah, it's like our whole world is upside down. Not feeling her presence here is. Sorry. It's hard.
I know you're fine. Don't need to apologize. What do you want our viewers to know when they see this?
She's a sweetheart. She's a very sweet, kind girl. Just please be nice to her. Bring her home if you find her. Tell her that we love her. Wherever she is, I hope she's okay.
I mean, if someone were to come in contact with her and you gave me her diagnoses, would it be easy to approach her without any like agitation or anything?
Yeah, she's a good kid.
So at this point, he seemed to really, really be making her seem like she was ill mentally to a point. I feel like, and I, you know, victim, I can't even get the right words out. She's a good kid. She was a wonderful child, I am sure. She probably was very well loved and had lots of family. And yeah, exactly. Fake tears, fear that he's gonna get caught. Hey, Kara, how you doing? Yeah, right, Katya.
She's a good kid.
If you can sum up in one complete sentence, waking up, getting ready to drop her off at school, dropping her off at school, to now speaking to me after talking to the police about her being missing for over 24 hours right now. In one complete sentence, what would that be?
A living nightmare. It's a living nightmare. Day started off like any other. I just want to wake up. You just get hit with waves of the reality just it's setting in. As soon as it got dark last night, we started falling apart because we knew it wasn't going to come to an end. And now we're going on 24 hours and still nothing. Just conflicting reports here and there. People say they see this or that. None of it's conclusive.
Did he just wipe his dry boogers? Because I don't think he was really crying. I didn't see any tears or anything, but he took that little napkin and he, okay, go ahead, dude.
None of it's helpful. We just want a baby girl back.
Tom, any questions?
No, I'm good.
Thank you.
Just because you hold up there for me.
Tuesday.
Okay, so this says it's February 27th, 2024, and this is audio only, so I believe it probably just flips through some pictures during the audio. Grizzly True Crime is a master at putting some of these things together. I don't know how she does it. She's just awesome. So this is audio.
February 27th, 12:05 hours for OCSO case 24-011313 is Detective Hunt. Can you state your full name?
Stephen Stearns.
All right, Stephen. Real quick, do you just want to affirm that everything you're about to tell me is the truth?
Yes.
Perfect. So you know kind of why I'm at here, right? Involving. When is the last time that you saw?
Dropped her off yesterday morning.
And it's deleting out Maddie's name because she is underage. So, and it is in all reference to Madeline Soto. She is the victim in this case. So, I'm glad to show everything outside you can't hear.
Okay, about what time?
I'm sorry.
Approximately sometime between 8:25 and 8:40 is when I dropped her off.
And where were you dropping her to?
I was taking her to school.
Got it. And it's my understanding that you dropped her off like a little bit away from school.
Yeah, she sometimes likes to get dropped off a bit down the road away. She likes to walk over and catch up with her friends or just not being seen, getting out of a hoopty in front of school.
Okay. And when you say hoopty, you're referring to your
car that she's embarrassed to be seen getting out.
Got it. Okay. Where did you drop her off at? Do you remember approximately?
It was.
You're good.
Okay, I'm just listening, and I heard this horrible, horrible yawn. Okay, and this is a great picture of him eating some kind of roast beef looking sandwich. But that was a horrible yawn while they're trying to have a conversation with a cop. That was so, so rude.
It's along the stretch of road, kind of where all those communities are, leading up to the overpass, and then the school's on the other side of the overpass.
So I dropped her off along that stretch where all those communities are.
Gotcha. Is it like on the sidewalk or near parking lots?
There's a sidewalk there. And then they've got the church on the other side of the street, and then the overpass, and then the school. So it's maybe no more than a block away.
Okay. Is the school within like eyesight of where you drop her off? Or is
The
it
overpass was definitely within eyesight, and the school was literally just on the other side of the overpass.
Gotcha. So if you were to guesstimate it, would it be like a quarter mile, half mile?
Yeah, maybe like a 5-10 minute walk, depending on your speed.
Okay.
But she also likes the cool morning walks too. She was wearing her hoodie and she was feeling the cold weather, and she likes that.
How common is it of you to drop her off to school in the morning?
It's not common for me to do it most of the time, but I'm up here and I'm helping out as much as I can and working. So she was trying to get as much.
Okay, so they're blanking out Jen's name too. So just listening to this is interesting because I hear the names they're blanking out, and he's saying that he was there to help Jen because she needed to get sleep. He didn't need to be there. He didn't need, and
It was possible. I was doing the school run this morning.
Okay. Do you live here? Do you live somewhere else? Or what's that look like?
I live here, but I split my time between here and my parents' place down south in Northport. They're getting on the ears and they need some help.
Got it. Okay. For how long have you lived here with them?
Oh gosh, years now. A couple years maybe now.
Okay. And what does your time splitting look like? Are you here for days, weeks, months, something else?
Weeks at a time, yeah.
And so, I guess when did you arrive this block of time that you were here?
Day before yesterday, actually.
So, Saturday?
Yeah.
I think. So you got here Saturday night. Got it. And it's down in Northport that you actually split your time with. When did you start splitting your time between here and Northport?
A little while ago, my dad, I was working at Disney for a while, and my dad was coming up and getting lunch with me. Started discussing how they're getting on in years and they're going to need some help soon. And they'd really need me to come back down and help them out.
Was that this year or last year?
Last year, heading into this year, yeah.
Gotcha. So like December.
Yeah, they're already making end of life plans. So.
Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, at least they're getting a plan together now.
So normally, if you do drop her to school in the morning, although it's typically not you, is that typically what she requests is to be dropped? Is that from everyone or just because of your car?
She doesn't mind getting dropped off much. It's the nicer white Sentra over there. But it is very common for her to get dropped off down the road and want to walk up and find her friends and kind of hang out.
Does she typically hang out with her friends only at school, or does she have any in the neighborhood here?
She doesn't have any in the neighborhood here, but she does have friends from school that she gets together with on weekends and whatnot.
Okay. So after you dropped her off sometime between 8:25, 8:40 area, do you
I left
remember?
my phone at home, so I wasn't sure what the...
Gotcha. That's fine. Do you remember what you did after? Or?
Yeah, after I left her, I was watching her in the rearview mirror. I was just driving away. She looked like she was making her way towards the school like normal. So I went on with my day. I went over to the vape shop nearby. They were not open yet. So I came back home, hung out for a little while with Jen. And then after about an hour, I went to check the vape shop again, and they were open. So I took care of my stuff there.
he likes his vape.
It became a normal day.
He likes his vape.
So just to go through I asked
That's a
Jennifer the same questions, just to go through everyone's days, but just to
If we're gonna
go
pick
through
out
yours.
facts.
So you dropped her off at school, and you said you went to the vape shop?
Correct.
They weren't open?
Correct.
Do you remember about what time you got home?
Got home around maybe 10:15.
Gotcha. And was Jennifer here?
Yeah, Jen was here. She had been sleeping in. Her new work schedule has had her kind of messed up, so she was trying to sleep in as much as possible.
Gotcha. So when you got back around 10,
she was just
waking up.
Yeah. So we hung out for a little while, chit-chatted.
And I don't have all the facts because I haven't deep dived this case like some other creators have. I know, like I said, allegedly speculating, she is the one to watch for this. She has some of the best streams and knowledge with this. That's who I watch for my Maddie Soto and Stephen Stearns. So, but I do know that Jen had supposedly just started this job. So I'm just going to throw in my little bit of information that I'm aware of, whether they're facts or not. I'm not, this is my opinion and what I think and what I remember is that Jennifer had just started her new job and was starting the new job. Who just popped up? Katya, you back? Your computer come back on, honey. But she had just started this job, so I don't know that there was any necessity for, him to be there, to be babysitting. She was too old for that anyways.
Then I went and checked the vape shop again, got my stuff, came home again, hung out for a little while. We talked about maybe, doing some BJ shopping or something after we picked up. And then she wanted to take a nap again. I had a couple of errands I needed to run, so that worked out fine. I wanted to check out a couple of the card game shops in the area.
Oh, okay.
One of my trading card games just had a new release, so I just wanted to look at stuff.
Trading card games. I don't remember what trading card games he played.
So that's why my hoopties on.
Oh, where'd you get a flower? Where'd you get a flat tire?
192. That was hair raising.
And that was when you were out shopping during the day?
Yeah. That was between the hours of noon and like 2.
Okay. Got it. And then so after
we needed to leave by 2:30 to go get in line and get ready to pick up.
Got it. So you guys both went and picked her up together?
That was the goal. Yes, I was going to go with them, but I ended up getting a flat tire. So
you couldn't.
Yeah, I got back literally 10 minutes after she left, apparently.
Got it. And so forgive me, I missed something. I kind of missed it in the middle of there, but you got back home around 10. You hung out with Jen, and then y'all just kind of hung out. And then did you separate to go shopping, or?
She took a nap, and then I went and ran my errands.
Okay, got it. And then around noon or 2 o'clock, is when you got the flat tire, and she was leaving to pick up.
No, so when we hung out first, I'd gone to the vape shop, which was now open to get my vape, and then came back and hung out more. And then we separated, and I did my errands, and she took a nap. That was around noonish when that.
Got it. Okay, I just want to make sure I have that straight. So you went back to the vape shop. Which vape shop is this? Where's the vape shop around here?
Cigarette Online on John Young.
Oh, okay, I didn't know there was one around here.
E-cigarette, e-smoker, e-something online, but I've been going to them for a while. I think I'll remember their name.
And you made it out there about what time is that?
That was probably just after 11 that I finished up there.
Okay. Got it. Now, can you remember the day prior to Monday? Do you remember, I mean, I guess if anything happened between Saturday night and Monday when you were here that might have sparked wanting to...
She was so happy.
Okay. Because party, right?
And all three of us are together, and she is so happy.
Tell me about Sunday night. Tell me about Sunday into Monday. What you remember?
She just had a party. She was excited.
Sorry. It's okay.
just a quick pause. Knowing what I know now, and knowing that he was caught on cameras and there's videos of him driving with her in the car and stuff like that, which we're going to watch the interrogation video. I want to watch the interrogation video after this finishes, and then we'll go on to something else. But knowing all that now, hearing this, all these lies is angry. What? Verdict for Diddy? Oh my God. Okay, no, y'all let me pivot. Because if there's a verdict for Diddy, hold up. I need to even figure out where I could even find that. Hang on. I know I'm probably making all kinds of racket. I'm sorry. Let's see. Verdict for Diddy. NBC News.
Defense teams there milling about, waiting to see what we hear from the judge shortly. I want to go first to our entertainment correspondent, Chloe Malas, who has been following this case since the very beginning. Chloe, the judge told him, go back and work at this last night. He let them all go home. He heard that they were deadlocked on that top charge, count 1 of racketeering. And it appears that after just almost an hour of deliberations, they have now finally reached a verdict.
That's right there. Hi, Laura. Good morning. I was actually just inside the courthouse, and his family arrived about a half hour ago, and they were actually praying with Combs. They left the courthouse, and then it was just moments later that we learned that the jury had reached a verdict, and it appears that they have reached perhaps a unanimous verdict on count 1. I do want to talk about that. Yesterday, a note came at the end of the day from the jury saying that they were deadlocked on that racketeering, that RICO conspiracy charge. Remember, over the last 7 weeks, prosecutors, they called 34 witnesses claiming that Combs ran a criminal enterprise. They called it his kingdom, saying that he had personal assistants and employees carrying out illegal activity on his behalf. In an effort to try to prove that, they had witnesses testify about some of those, that illegal activity, those predicate crimes, among them arson, bribery, witness tampering, sex trafficking falls underneath that, transportation to engage in prostitution. We also heard from 2 of Combs's former girlfriends, one being Cassie Ventura, who he dated for over a decade. She took the stand heavily pregnant for 4 days, Laura, and it was emotional testimony.
Look,
playing that video that was
I know that they're talking, and I'm going to turn it down just a second. But look in the background behind this lady, the crowds. What if there's a hung jury not guilty? I'm going to say his people got the jurors. I think that too. I'm man.
in your sex life, describing this as a swinger's lifestyle. I also want to point out, right, Laura, that his team did not.
Sorry, I don't know. Man, that coffee got me earlier. So yeah, look at the crowds gathering and people. Look, this guy's on a ladder over here. So I think, yeah, we're going to. You, Gray? Who's Gray? Oh, Sherry. Oh, I thought you were going. So let's just kind of listen in for now and see what happens, because I'm excited. I'm all ready to hear this. Hey, Sherry.
Said that he asks for everyone's cooperation to maintain order until the verdict is read and they are all out of the courtroom. Combs, he is seated with his head down. Remember, Laura, when he read that note from the jury yesterday afternoon, right before 5 o'clock. He looked dejected. I watched as his attorneys ominously huddled around him. You could see one of his attorneys, Brian Steele, patting him on the shoulder and talking very passionately with his hands. It was almost like something out of a medieval painting. And, Combs's children, they have been there almost every single day of this trial. 6 of his 7 children are in court today.
And the jury is coming in right now, Chloe. So I'm going to ask you to stand by there. We're going to come back to you throughout our time as we continue to follow what's going on in the courtroom. Obviously, the tension in the room, based on our team there, the tension and anxiety is palpable. Everyone is sitting and waiting and watching. I'm sure you can hear a pin drop in that room. I'm joined here at the table by defense attorney Misty Maris, who's been following this case closely. She's been in the courtroom for much of it. You've tried these cases. You know what it's like. Talk about what it feels like in the room right now.
This is the highest level of stress. You're on pins and needles waiting for what the jury's verdict will be. And Laura, when we think about the note that we heard yesterday at the close of court, unpersuadable opinions on this RICO charge, and now coming into court, just 1 hour of deliberations, and the jury has come to a consensus. So they went home, maybe cooler heads prevailed. They get up, they have clarity, and they're unanimous now. That's what this indicates.
That's what I had gathered too.
This is certainly something
was
that the highest level of stress for both the defense, anxiety ridden for the prosecution.
Was that
I think this reads probably more
negative.
That
they were, they pretty much had it made up yesterday, but I think they went home to sleep on it. So that's why I think it came back so soon today.
Your verdict. Talk about how the judge has to be so careful with his language when he doesn't want to put too much pressure on him, but he does say your objective here is to reach consensus.
Absolutely. So when there's a deadlock, there is language that a judge can read. It's called an Allen charge. This judge actually fell short of that. It was a modified version. And it's specific, Laura, because it tells the jury to go into the deliberation room, listen to each other. Think about the evidence. If you're in the minority of the group, hear out the other jurors who are in the majority. But don't put your personal convictions aside. It's towing the line of what we would call agreeing and doing your civic duty and coming to that consensus as a jury, but also not being pressured. And that's where it can get very dicey. There's a lot of criticism of this instruction. You hear the defense often say it's too early to give this instruction because
the defense wants a mistrial. The defense is their best hope is not, obviously acquittal would be great for the defense, but they're saying if you can't get an acquittal, we'll at least take a mistrial.
A mistrial is a win for the defense.
I'm going to interrupt you just closely here, Misty, because we are getting the verdict coming in right now. This is coming in real time, and we have count one here. This is the racketeering charge. We have the count here of not guilty on racketeering. This is coming in real time. We have count two also coming in here, not guilty. That is the sex trafficking of Cassie Ventura. Count three, we have guilty. Count three is guilty for the transportation of Cassie Ventura. That is guilty. Count four, this is the sex trafficking of Jane. That's a pseudonym, not guilty. Count five, we have guilty. That is 5 counts. We have a mixed verdict here. Again, count one, as it relates to racketeering, not guilty. Count two, as it relates to sex trafficking, not guilty. Count three, guilty. Count four, not guilty. Count five, guilty. Now, we should bring up here, Misty, all of these counts have a range of different sentences, a range of different evidentiary burdens, a range of different
I'm over here
outcomes
typing
that
on
we've had
copious
here.
things. Sorry.
But it is a mixed verdict, if you will.
It's a mixed verdict, but it is a stunning victory for
Hey,
the
ADs,
defense.
how are
The
ya?
Mann Act, these charges, these were the easiest for prosecutors to prove, the lowest hanging fruit, merely required showing that state lines were crossed for the purpose to engage in prostitution. We saw a lot of evidence on these charges, did not have that element, Laura, of force, fraud, or coercion. And this carries the lightest sentence of these charges. It is a maximum of 10 years. And keep in mind, when you're talking about maximums aren't the rule, they are the exception. They're for the most exceptional and severe cases. So now you're talking about a sentence that's potentially in the lower range with time served because he's been behind bars. The fact that these sex trafficking charges, specifically with respect to Cassie Ventura, means that the jury was convinced by the defense, at least with respect to reasonable doubt, that the commercial sex, i.e. the freak-offs, were not connected to some of this violence, that there was not that force, fraud, or coercion element. That is by far, from a penalty perspective, the most serious. It carried a 15-year minimum. So that is a huge distinction. This is the best case scenario, in my view, for the defense. A lot of us opined yesterday that when the jury asked for a readback of Cassie Ventura and Daniel Phillips, one of the escorts' testimony, that read perhaps negatively for the defense. The jury was digging in to see if there was that force, fraud, or coercion. Clearly, it went the other way.
And it's interesting because the prosecutors had told them you don't have to find force, fraud, or coercion on every single instance that he did this, right? You only have to find one. It doesn't have to be that this happened every time. But for the racketeering, you really did need to find a pattern of behavior. You needed to find a criminal enterprise that he engaged in with other people, right? When people think of racketeering, they think of the mob. They think of running drugs. They think of running guns. Now, federal prosecutors have used a far more expansive view of racketeering, especially in recent years in SDNY, right? Because they want to bring in all of the worst evidence. They want to stretch back the material decades ago. And so you've talked about how it allows them to tell a full story. Well, it turns out doing that in this case.
I don't even know what to say. I honestly don't know what to say because I honestly did not think it was going to go this way. I really felt it was going to be guilty on all four except for the racketeering, simply because, hello, did you see the video of him beating the heck out of Cassie? Sorry, I know it's, yeah, I am too. Kara, I think I'm just disgusted and in shock, and I really don't know what to say. I don't even have a good comment. Money can buy a verdict. These are all great thoughts, great opinions. Yeah, Hannah, you did. You've said it all along. He's going to walk. But hopefully he will have to do a little bit of time for the two that he was guilty, which was transportation. And what was the fifth one? He was also found guilty on the fifth one. I don't remember what it was. Yeah, also transportation to engage in a prostitution. So are they going to time served? How much time can they give him? What time? I don't know how much time he was looking at for those charges. So I don't really know. Not guilty doesn't mean innocent. His reputation going to take a hard hit. Yeah. Yeah, I know. That was my thing. How can they say, oh, it was mostly me? I didn't know the makeup of the jury. I mean, everybody saw that Cassie video. How in the world, after seeing that Cassie video, could you think she said, oh, heck yeah, come beat the hell out of me? He asked me a question a while back. Why do so many foreign people watch and get into American trials? Is it because of the corruption? Here's an example. Thank you, Paula. I think they don't see the craziness over there. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right, Katya? How do you think he is feeling at this very moment?
We don't have cameras in the courtroom, but we do have a team fanned out all over that building that you're looking at right now. Bring us inside the courtroom, if you will, Chloe, about what is happening
in there. Yeah, so let's
listen
to what they're doing in the courtroom.
Still playing out, and the judge thanking the jury now.
We'll listen for the hearing, for the after.
For the Mann Act, Laura, the transportation to engage in prostitution. This is a massive victory for Combs's 8-person defense team. Tenny Garagos, the daughter of celebrity attorney Mark Garagos, who is one of the lead attorneys for this criminal case of Combs, she's wiping tears. This is a massive moment because, like you said, sex trafficking had a mandatory 15-year minimum. I mean, the prosecutors, they painted Combs as somebody that was beating women, which they owned up to, but running a criminal enterprise, and that he sex trafficked 2 of his former girlfriends, Cassie Ventura and also Jane, who testified under a pseudonym. This is undoubtedly a massive blow to the prosecution, who brought 34 witnesses. They talked a lot about these co-conspirators that they say carried out this illegal activity on Combs's behalf. mean, you have 6 of his children in there. His mother, Janice, who has been inside the courtroom every single day. Diddy is praying. He is doing a prayer show of his prayer hands to the jury right now. I mean, I sat there in that courtroom almost every single day, and I watched the faces of those
I couldn't
jurors. And you
showing
could tell
prayer hands
that
to the
there
jury.
were
Get
several of
over
them that
it.
were not buying what
Yeah,
the
I'm
prosecution
sure.
was putting forth in their arguments. I saw some roll their eyes. I saw some even fall asleep. Some clearly not buying what the prosecution was saying in their closing arguments. On the other hand, during Mark Agnifalo's theatrical closing arguments, there was even laughter from some of the jurors. It was a very clear, Misty Maris and I have talked about this at length, that there was dissent when it came to the racketeering. And I think that it is incredibly powerful that this jury, some were unpersuadable, that overnight they were able, within just an hour, to come to a unanimous verdict on the racketeering conspiracy. I mean, again, Combs, who does not have a lengthy criminal record. This is somebody that Mann Act, it's a 10-year mandatory maximum. It's unlikely that he would get that full 10 years. So this is a man that could see a few years behind bars. Again, this is a very emotional day. We are expecting the attorneys to give a press conference. The prosecutors have said that they will be giving a written statement. They will not be speaking today. We also know that the family plans to address his children. They plan to address the public. And we do think that there could be a statement from Combs himself later today, but in a very emotional scene in the courtroom. And I just want to remind everyone that over the last 7 weeks, although there were 34 witnesses that took the stand, Combs' team not calling a single witness and resting their case in just 30 minutes. I want to describe the scene behind me now. You have what I like to call citizen journalists. These are live bloggers, Instagrammers, TikTokers, filming every single day, live streaming what's happening here. There is a massive crowd gathering. There's about 100 people here right now. Some people are wearing free puffy shirts. You've seen that over the last several weeks. And again, Laura, a stunning victory, if you can call it that. But it is, considering that he was facing up to life in prison, for Combs and his legal team this morning.
Yeah, no question. The federal prosecutors are going to be massively disappointed with this verdict, even with those 2 guilty counts. Chloe, thank you. Stand by. I also want to bring in our NBC News legal analyst, Kristen Gibbons-Fedden. Kristen, you have followed this one from the very beginning. I want to just update our viewers about what's going on inside court right now.
Okay, well, that was more bit of knowledge too, but I didn't know that average 52. If being 52, they should know better. But being a 52, okay, this may sound so wrong, and it's fixing to just fly out of my mouth before I even think about what I'm saying.
In a detention center for months now, and so they're asking for him to be released today.
52-year-old men.
Miami at his home. They've said, look, his plane has been sequestered.
We're averaging an age.
Released on appropriate conditions. Then what are the chances he
are the ones that
I think there is a high likelihood that he
judged
keep in mind what the jury found.
and was the jury
did not
for this trial.
find him guilty of counts 2 and 4. So
Just
they
let that
really
sink in a minute.
Element. They ripped out the violence element. They ripped out the violent parts of which is what the
I don't have nothing positive to say. I gotta watch my mouth.
to keep him in bail. Remember back to when they were arguing bail.
I gotta watch my mouth. That's all I can say.
And some
I
of the
mean,
main things that they pointed to was how Diddy was violent, how Diddy kind of utilized his enterprise to enact all of these violence. Well, the jury has spoken.
I'm gonna let them speak for a minute, and hopefully they'll come out with the press conference soon because I want to see what I need to see what they have to say at this point. It's a need.
So there is a high likelihood that with his plane sequestered, with him and being Miami, and the fact that he is a celebrity where he can't really go unnoticed, there is a high likelihood that the judge may have released him on bail today.
Yeah, I mean, they have his passport, but he has an enormous amount of means. Shut the front door. And obviously, the prosecution is going to oppose this. They're saying that his attorneys have been trying to downplay this years-long conduct. But Misty, if you're the judge in this moment right now, do you release him with the sort of hope in the prayer that he's not going to be able to fly out of the country somewhere?
I think it's very likely that he gets released now that he's convicted on these Mann Act charges, and that's it. You're not talking about the sex trafficking, force, fraud, and coercion. You're not talking about RICO, this widespread criminal enterprise.
We'll let Kara
You're
say
talking
it.
about two isolated Mann Act charges, and the
Like I
analysis
said,
is going to be
we're
number
all,
one, danger
all,
to
and I said this
the
last
public.
night in my stream.
The other is
We
going
are
to be
all
flight
entitled
risk.
to our
So flight
opinions,
risk is
and
what
that
you're
is
speaking
one
of.
thing I
To the
promote.
extent that there's
We may
enough
not all
conditions
agree,
on him to keep
but
him
hey,
and have him
that's
come
what
back
makes
for
the world go
sentencing,
round.
I think it's very likely that he gets released.
So,
And when he gets sentenced, this is really important because what's going to
and in
happen
the
is
scene I'm in, I have to
the
watch what I
prosecutors are going to
say.
present aggravating factors, the defense is going to present mitigating
We should
factors.
make that clear. That does not happen today. That
No,
happens in
that
months
happens
from
down
now.
now. But the fact that sex trafficking is an acquittal,
Mhm.
it's going to be really important because that idea of who's exploited in these Mann Act charges, that Cassie Ventura or Jane were potentially exploited, that would be the prosecution's argument. I
You
think you're
think
going
so,
to lose
case
a lot
one?
of that
You
argument.
know,
So
that's
the
what I
judge
was
is going to
thinking
be
too.
looking at that
Okay, so when are the
saying that he will be
F
released
offs?
with those
Because I don't
conditions.
know if
And one more
we
point
get
on that
dinged for
sex
saying things
trafficking.
like that.
I
The
think
F
the
offs. We'll
defense
just
made
call them
a
the F
very
offs.
good point. The prosecution really
You know,
needs to
hey,
concede
go back to having
when
some
they
F
say
offs
he's
and
been convicted for only
doing
sex
some
trafficking
crazy
at least one
parties,
time.
and
It's also
you know, hey,
possession to a certain degree.
if
Because
we're considered
when
that
do you decide
what we
it's sex
did, we're not
trafficking
guilty for
versus
what we
not sex
did.
trafficking? And a
What
lot of people have
what
this
the
idea of what
prosecutor
that is.
showed
That it's
that
something
you
more
have
than just
done,
one isolated
and
incident. That it's more of a
they say, nah,
large
you're not
scale
guilty for doing all
operation.
that.
I'm wondering if
Go
that's
on
your
about your
gut.
business.
Also think of it
Keep
as
it up.
something
I,
not for the benefit of the person themselves, right? They
I'm
think
not
about people
politically
selling
correct,
girls,
so
they
I
think
don't
about
know the right
international
terms to
operation, people in the
use.
back of a van.
Kara,
People
I'm
have an
so mad
image
too.
of sex
I am
trafficking.
so mad,
It
and I
doesn't
don't know how to
necessarily correlate
express
with
it.
what
I
the
don't
law
know
says
how to.
about sex trafficking,
My
but I
words
wonder
are
if
just
it
not
played
forming.
into the jury's view of what was going on here, because the defense kept
That
hammering,
I feel
look, he might be a
comfortable
flawed guy.
saying.
He might be violent. He might be an abuser,
Right.
but he's not a trafficker. He's not part of an enterprise.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Even to the extent that Mark Agnifilo in his
they
closing
say?
referenced Sammy the Bull. It's like they wanted
Wait,
the jury to go.
He's not a trafficker. Look, he might sex trafficking. That doesn't necessarily correlate with what the law says about sex trafficking, but I wonder if it played into the jury's view of what was going on here, because the defense kept hammering, look, he might be a flawed guy. He might be violent. He might be an abuser, but he's not a trafficker. He's not part of an enterprise.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Even to the extent that Mark Agnifilo in his closing referenced Sammy the Bull. It's like they wanted the jury to go home and rent Goodfellas so that they could see what a criminal enterprise was. And I agree with you. I think that just in the jury's mind, and the average person, you're going to think of a more widespread scheme where there's a lot of exploitation of women being coerced to come into a sex trafficking ring. That's not what this was. So clearly the defense did a good job undercutting it. And Laura, also, defense strategy of not calling any witnesses, people have said, was that good or that bad?
A lot of people wondered, is that a concession that he doesn't have a strong case? And now look what happened.
Well, it's a risk-averse strategy in my view, because once you
I
start
agree
putting out
with her.
witnesses, you open up doors.
It's a risk.
And the defense did a very good job on cross-examination of using electronic record, text messages, emails, social media posts. You can't really wiggle out of them. They're in black and white. So if the jury reads those as being romantic relationships, consenting relationships, whatever that might be, you know, when with respect to forced labor, that there were relationships between him and his employees that didn't rise to that level of force and coercion, that's really effective because that goes back in time to when it's happening. It's not what you're thinking in retrospect from the stand.
Just to bring everyone inside the courtroom again, no cameras in federal court, but we have a crackerjack team inside there that is sort of feeding us through the Pony Express of notes here. And the prosecution is fighting desperately right now to keep him behind bars, saying things like he poses a danger, he's going to attempt to flee justice. Basically saying, Misty, he can't be trusted because of the misconduct, because of the physical abuse. He doesn't have a respect for the law. This is, again, the Comey, the prosecutor, trying to convince the judge to keep him behind bars. And the judge is pressing her, saying, counsel, do you have an example of somebody who has been behind bars in detention on this type of charge, this prostitution Mann Act charge, and bail was denied on those grounds? And she said, I don't have an example off the top of my head, Judge. And it sounds like he's gonna make her, press her to try to find some precedent, if you will, because the judge has to be careful too, right? He can't keep him in detention if there's not a legal justification for it.
Absolutely. The judge relies on legal precedent. Is there another similar case in this jurisdiction? jurisdiction where that's happened. I am not aware of one. I think prosecution's argument about that danger element is much weaker given what the jury has said. The jury has spoken. These acquittals, they are rock solid. Nothing can happen on those particular charges at this point. The stronger argument, in my view, from prosecution perspective, is the tremendous amount of resources this individual has on that flight risk issue. I think it's a stretch to say, given the jury's verdict, that this is a danger to society.
Okay, so I'm going to speak over him for a minute. I'm going to turn that down. It's wild, right, Katya? I'm reading some stuff on what's going on.
I don't think there is on these.
So, Inner City Press is where I always read my Diddy stuff on Twitter. And let me turn her down just a little bit more. I'm letting them play for just a second. But Inner City Press. So 4 minutes ago, it says Comey, the attorney, Comey said the defendant faces a maximum sentence of 20 years. Even while faced with this case, he assaulted Jane here in New York, preparing to surrender. He had drugs in his hotel room, was ready to commit the same offense. The judge says, I'm not going to resolve this in this second. I need to review the statutes. Mr. Comey, do you have a case in which bail was denied after a convicted murder? After a conviction under the Mann Act. You may confer and come back. We plan to be here the whole day. Comey come back and said, I'm aware of cases involving minors, but we intend to raise relevant conduct at sentencing, the drugs, and the violence. Judge says, I'll take letters from each side. When? USA Comey says, a few hours. Judge says, I think that makes sense. Mr. Comey does not want to go back to the MDC. He's shaking his head. So 1 p.m. letters, and we'll convene in the afternoon, and I'll let the parties know when. Agnifico says, he would be a fool, which he is not, to violate any conditions. So, I think that's where we're going to stand with this one.
Cassie Ventura's attorney, who has been a presence throughout this trial. Again, this is significant when it comes to the sex trafficking. Cassie Ventura giving emotional testimony for 4 days, saying that Combs threatened her with blackmail, videos of these freak-offs.
Can you imagine how sick Cassie and her husband are feeling right now? How disgusting she is feeling with, just the thought of
Jane on multiple occasions consenting, it appears, to these freak-offs to sue you. And then essentially, as paraphrasing, Douglas Wigdorf filed that civil suit. They settled the following day in less than 24 hours. And it came out in the trial that she received $20 million from Combs and another $10 million from the Intercontinental Hotel. I'm just getting a note here from our producer.
Paula, I have to agree with you.
The family is now clapping in the courtroom. As a reminder, there is his mother, 6 of his children in the courtroom, and Combs, he is now praying on his knees. This is an incredibly emotional moment. And as a reminder, there are no cameras in the courtroom. There will be court sketches. His children were very emotional this morning. I actually walked up inside the courthouse with them, up in the elevators, and his daughters were wearing all black. And I actually spoke to one of the mothers of one of his daughters, Chance. I won't tell you what she said, but I can tell you that it was very emotional. Again, although convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution, it is a massive win for Combs' legal team and a huge blow for New York prosecutors that said that Combs ran a criminal enterprise. Also, Laura, those co-conspirators, none of them testifying. Christina Cora, heads of security like D-Rock. We heard about all these different names of these individuals that supposedly ran this criminal organization, but none of them appeared to have been given immunity. We don't know that for sure, but none of them testified during this trial.
And there were thoughts that perhaps,
if convicted on racketeering, that prosecutors were going to go after said enterprise. But again, I just want to reiterate that Combs' family clapping moments ago and Combs praying on his knees. Laura?
Chloe, since you followed this so closely and you were in the courtrooms for so many weeks covering this, can you just remind our viewers about the defense team strategy here? Because I know you and I talked at various points about whether it was going to backfire. And you look at that screen and you see all those not guilty verdicts, all those acquittals on some of the most serious charges of using force and using coercion. And they heard so much evidence about all of the drugs and all of the threats and Combs telling that these women, I'm going to release these tapes if you don't do what I want. And yet the jury did not think it enough. What was the theory, Chloe, that the defense used in terms of why he should be acquitted here?
Oh, there
Because
we
I
go.
remember in closing arguments,
right,
they were
Hannah.
saying things like, this was a modern day
You're
love
right.
story.
Anyone
And we
that
wondered
crossed
if that
him
was going to
for
backfire.
this trial, man,
Sure. I mean,
they
look,
are in
that is
trouble.
certainly a point that myself
They-
and others, they lost us there
Witness
because
protection
no
or something,
great
I'd say
modern love
put me
story
in witness
consists
protection
of
because
repeated domestic violence.
I don't want to be
okay?
out here in
And
the
Holmes's
world.
team owned up to the fact
Nope.
that
Did he
he
gonna
is
get
a
me?
bad guy. He is an abuser of women. He is a drug addict. This is not vindication that Combs has led a straight and narrow life. What this
Katia says hello,
is
Hannah.
Combs's team has been nicknamed the Dream Team. There are 8 attorneys. This is a multi-million
The Dream
dollar
Team. That was
defense
OJ's.
team. You have
That was
Mark
OJ's
Agnifilo,
team.
Combs's lead attorney, who is also representing Luigi Mangione. You have Tenny Garagos, the daughter of celebrity attorney Mark Garagos. You also have Brian Steele, who joined late in the game out of Atlanta, Georgia, who just recently had a big win representing Young Thug
I did too,
in his
Kara.
RICO case down there in Georgia. And you got to understand that there are 8 attorneys there, right? For viewers at home, that if Combs wanted to testify in his own defense, that if they wanted to call any witnesses for the money that he was paying, I watched him pass notes for the entire 2 months. He was very involved in his defense. We know that his attorneys, many of them visiting him every single day in the 9 months leading up to this trial at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, that this was a strategy to try to show a united force, that prosecutors did not meet their burden of proof. NBC's Danny Ceballos has said multiple times on our air that if they don't feel as though the prosecutors proved their case, why put on a defense? This is a common strategy for defense attorneys. It's also common to not put your client on the stand and potentially incriminate themselves. And so what you're seeing is that these were attorneys that were confident. And we are looking right now at the courthouse right now, hoping that perhaps the family or even some of the attorneys are going to come out. More likely, Laura, the family will be coming out because those lawyers for Combs, they have a letter that is due in about 2 hours to the judge explaining why Combs should be released. They have said that they will put up a $1 million bond. They have said, take his plane. We don't have his plane. We've already put his houses up, his mansion in Star Island. We put that up for collateral. That this
Okay,
is low
y'all hear what she's saying?
Transportation to engage in prostitution, still illegal.
Okay, so here, this is what actually was said in the court. Agnifilo says he is no longer charged with sex trafficking or racketeering. His plane has been chartered. It's in Maui. He does not have access to a plane. This is his first conviction, and it is a prostitution offense. He should be released. And again, Combs Agnifilo says his family is here and can sign a bond. He should be released today and go back to live at 2 Star Island. The judge said, this is just coming up right now. I will hear from the government in a moment. Are you proposing he just walk outside now? He said, yes. Judge says, you proposing $1 million bond? Agnifilo says, yes, and travel to Florida, New York, and LA. Comey from the USA says the U.S. opposes this release. A person found guilty shall be detained until the judicial officer finds he is not likely to flee or be a danger. So they want to let him go home today.
Chloe, stand by. We're going to come back to you soon. I want to bring back in here NBC News legal analyst Kristen Gibbons-Fedden. Kristen, you and I have talked before. Why was this a federal case, right? If there is evidence of violence, if there is evidence of force, we have the video of the intercontinental beating back in 2016. Why was this not a state case? Instead of
if
a
they let him go
federal
home
case?
today,
when you think about a federal case, something
my
that
mind is going to be
affects
blown.
international
blown.
commerce, right? Something that affects things that go between state lines. And I'm sure prosecutors have plenty of theories about why his behavior is satisfactory on that score. But you wonder whether the state interest.
Okay, and here, this is my tinfoil hat, guys. My tinfoil hat. This is my tinfoil hat. So I get to say, good morning, Pickles. Good morning. Who said that? Wait, I gotta scroll it. Tracy said, so the Diddy's and the Cosbys of the world know it's okay to drug people and do whatever you want. Yeah, that sums it up. That's a good one. That's a good one.
We saw the RICO charge used in
Yep, money will go a long way, Tracy. I agree. I agree.
Unfortunately, it was not used as successfully here, and I think what the bottom line here
let me wear my tinfoil hat for a second.
A domestic element here. They did not see that his crimes.
This may sound totally crazy. Totally crazy.
Over that enterprise. And so, to your point, the state interest
just got me thinking.
Absolutely have been
so
served.
what if
Prosecutor, I can tell you, we prosecuted.
After hearing this,
obviously we did not indict one.
After hearing this, now hear me out. Hear me out. This is far-fetched. Brian Koberger says, if Diddy can get off, what about me? Should I sign this plea deal this afternoon?
Jurors still have a hard time getting their head around why women stay in situations.
Is that a crazy thought for me, or is just my mind is just blown by this? And then now I'm thinking about Koberger is supposed to be signing a plea deal for what he did. So
I can tell you, just being even though I'm a former prosecutor, I do civil litigation.
Katya, quit hiding people. What just happened? My phone just went crazy. This is on my desk. That's what all those little Katya's over here pushing buttons, and she's not even on the screen pushing buttons. Damn it, stop pushing buttons, Katya. Yeah, she's picking on Pickles. But anyways, think about my tinfoil theory here, okay? Think about this. So we have Koberger coming up to do a plea deal.
I think even today after Me Too and even after
what if Koberger changes his mind at the last minute?
Including R. Kelly and many others. People still
want that's a possibility.
Wrapped up in this beautiful box. And
that's absolutely a possibility.
If they are abused once, not multiple times, but once, they immediately.
My mind is just blown. My mind is all over the place.
There's a DNA test, etc.
And look, Katya said, Pickles, I'm sorry. And Sherry's helping you out here. Free Pickles.
There's a lot of humiliation. There's a lot of shame. There is a lot of embarrassment amongst these crimes. And as we saw in Cassie, as we saw in Jane, there also is a tie to an individual's livelihood. It's easy for many people to say, hey, I would never stay in that relationship. But what about
I don't even know what to think.
The person who is abusing you is responsible for your children getting fed.
Tracy, I don't know.
We don't know what anyone.
They can only bring up so many charges. I mean, or only charge them with stuff that they felt they could prove, and maybe they didn't feel they could prove that. I don't know.
But in no way, we all, obviously there were no cameras in the courtroom, but we all saw through reports.
Pickles, come back. Pickles, Pickles, Pickles. I'm hollering for you into the World Wide Web. Pickles, Katya's looking for you. Come back. She didn't mean to hide you.
These women believe there was coercion. And so I think that while this is a significant
Hannah, you know how it feels to be hidden. Tell Pickles it's okay. Come back. We're not that mean.
Diddy is going to have to face certain business and reputational fallout, notwithstanding the legal suits.
Oh my goodness.
As well.
Oh my goodness.
I want to also bring in Misty, who's still with me at the table here. Misty, for folks at home who are looking.
So they're gonna start doing live coverage of the Koberger guilty plea hearing in about 10 minutes. So I wanted to wait until they come out with something on this, but I don't think they're going to actually come out and talk to us. I don't think they're going to come out and make a statement or anything just yet until after their letters are turned in and the judge makes a decision on releasing him. But we'll sit here and listen for a few more minutes. Actually,
with
I'm
respect
going to
to
let
that
this.
charge, not just the predicate crimes, but there has to be a conspiracy to engage in a criminal enterprise. And prosecutors had to say it's different.
You know what? Thank you, Paula. That's what I was, and on the BK thing that I have pulled up, they'll probably just go over things for a little bit. We can kind of talk about it and listen to their reiteration of what's happened, and I'm sure they're going to just kind of probably for the first hour kind of talk. So I'm thinking of changing the time on the other stream and just switching us to Coburger.
It doesn't mean it's not a crime. It doesn't mean it's not a crime. I mean, it is. There are crimes galore here, Laura. When it
Roll
comes to
hearings.
domestic violence, assault.
No, Katya, it's okay. It was an accident, sweetie. It was an accident. It's okay.
The federal law allows for conduct that
Somebody just typed in Discord. It was Cracker Jacket. He said, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be calling people out like this, but somebody just typed in Discord and it just popped up on his. The judge must have been to some freak-offs. Look, everybody's got their opinion. We're entitled to opinions. Oh my God. I just don't need to change the time. Okay. Yeah, I seen she unhit her, but I'm not seeing her. Right, Kara, she is. Cracker is a hoot. She is. And like I said, I just seen that pop up. Like I said, everybody has their opinions, and that's great. That is great. I want everybody to have opinions, and they're all welcome. That's exactly how I mean, yeah, hopefully, Pickles, if you're out there in the universe, Katya is very sorry. We apologize. We apologize. If you're out there, Pickles, know you're loved, and if you can type in the chat, come back. So, okay, I'm going to switch us over. I don't know how to switch us over. Katya, I don't know how to. Where are you at, Katya? Are you at home? Are you near where you can? I don't know how to redirect. And that's what I wanted to do. She should be able to chat. Okay, well, I wasn't sure. Okay. All right. Just didn't people automatically go in the stream? Okay. Yeah, I think we're ready to say bye Diddy. We still don't like. I still don't. This is my opinion. I still don't like you. I don't approve of anything you've done, and yeah, bye Diddy. I'm gonna end this stream and pop over to the other one. I will. It doesn't do. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna transfer over to the Coburg stream. I don't do the automatic transfer thing. I don't know how to do that yet. I'm still new at. I'm still a baby at this stuff. So, yeah. Go to the new one. Go to the BK chat. Go to the BK stream. Go to the BK stream. You know what? Hang on. I can do something. Hold up. I know how to do something. Wait a minute. Let me think for a second. Because, see, I'm smarter than I think I am some days. Okay, see? I'm smart. Look, just in case you get lost, That's the stream. I just dropped it in chat. That's the stream. So, see you all over there. I'm going to be there in just a minute. I'm going to go refill my coffee. So give me 5 minutes to refill my coffee and I'll be there. Oh, wait. No, stop. Stop. No, don't go. Come back. Come back. People are exiting the court.
I just wonder if this had been happening in the late 90s, it would be a different story.
Yes, it probably would.
Who was walking out? Okay.
There was.
Maybe it was nobody. I'm just excited. Okay. Go to Coburger. Go to Coburger. I'll see you guys there. Be there in 5 minutes. Let me make some coffee. Bye.
And I'm a real-time crime professional.